I think that the cross-sectoral collaboration is one of those things and one of those concepts that is actually more difficult to pronounce than it is to understand. My very simple definition is that the cross-sectoral collaboration happens when different institutions and organizations from various different backgrounds decide to come together and to work on a very specific project idea, a problem that they're trying to solve, a problem they wouldn't be able to solve by themselves. And in our case, very often it is finding successful ways on how to transform very often unusual places into movement spaces. Spaces where people could enjoy different ways and forms of physical activity every day. And as easy as this may sound, it is often very challenging to create a sustainable partnership which is composed of public authorities, private entities, and not-for-profit organizations such as the grassroots sports organizations. And I guess there are many different reasons for that, and I think the main one being that we are actually not used to working outside of our organizations or working in a cluster with a cluster approach. So I think this is very important for us to come out of our comfort zone and open ourselves to a larger dialogue with other institutions from the area. We also have to remember that different organizations, different sectors, that means different working methods, different management styles, or even different working hours. So I guess understanding this and understanding this approach is vital in order to deliver the successful partnership. And from my experience, there are at least three main elements that have to be prepared before you actually reach out to different organizations and institutions that you would like to invite to cooperate with you on a movement spaces project. So what I would invite you to do first is to actually clearly define what is the problem you're trying to solve. Why do you do what you're actually planning to do? So this is very important to remember, that people prefer understanding why you do certain things instead of just what you do and what you plan to deliver. So identifying the problem is one of the first steps. I would also invite you to work a bit on a vision. So what is the end results? Where are you headed? What is the target? What is the goal that you're trying to achieve? And then the third element would be, how do you get from point A to point B? So how do you get from the problem identification to the vision? So how do you solve this problem? And once you have those three elements, I think it's the moment when you can actually start to build the partnership. And the first step would be, just go out there, just have a look around and try to map stakeholders. Try to see and discover different organizations and institutions that operate in the area that you want to operate. And remember that we as people tend to lean towards the organizations, people, institutions, the ones that are close to us, the ones that we understand, that they understand us. But I think it's worth noting that the sentence of, keep your friends close and your enemies closer applies here 100%. So just when you go out looking for different partners, don't think of only organizations that will be able to support you, but also think of those that can actually that not necessarily will be keen on helping you to deliver different initiatives. But I think staying with them in a very specific dialogue could help you out in the long term. And I think one of the other success factors is that you have to get everybody on the same page. Everybody understand the problem, the vision, and how do you get from point A to point B. And that's clearly a very strong foundation that has to be laid before you actually start doing this. And I think the last part is that if you want to pursue your goal, a key component of that is the communication. Communication is vital in order to ensure that everybody is on the same page throughout the whole project.